Your cat isn't just following you, it's trying to tell you something. And if you're ignoring it, you're missing the most important signal. Imagine this. You walk into the bathroom at 6 in the morning, barely opening your eyes, and there he is, sitting, looking at you with an expression of absolute seriousness, as if this is the most important meeting of his day. You go to the kitchen. He follows you. You sit down to work. He's under the table. You get up for a glass of water, and small paws are already tapping along the floor behind you. Your cat has become your shadow, and you start asking yourself, is this cute or is it already a little creepy? Why is this small, independent creature, which supposedly doesn't need anyone, unable to leave you alone even for a minute? There is an answer, and it is much deeper and more interesting than you think. Some reasons will melt your heart, some will make you smile, and one might make you seriously think about your pet's health. Stay until the end, because the last reason, the one no one talks about openly, may completely change the way you see your relationship with your cat. Reason 1. Your cat wants your attention, and he is ready to fight for it using every available method. There is a stereotype that cats are completely indifferent to people, that they don't care whether you are there or not, that they live on their own and merely tolerate your existence nearby. This is complete nonsense. Cats form deep emotional bonds. They miss you. They notice your absence, even when you leave for just 30 minutes. And if they feel that when you're home, your attention belongs to your phone, laptop, or TV instead of them, they start to act. Following you is the first step. Then comes escalation. More meowing, more purring right into your ear, sometimes even strange howling that makes you turn around in alarm. If a cat wants to play, he may start attacking your legs while you walk, jumping at you from around the corner, or tapping your hand that is holding a cup of coffee. This is not aggression. This is an invitation to play that is simply impossible to ignore. Cats that do not receive enough attention at home often begin to destroy things when left alone, scratching furniture, knocking objects off shelves, creating real chaos. This is not revenge and not mischief. This is separation anxiety, and it is real. The simplest solution is to set aside specific time for your cat every day, not just being nearby, but truly interacting, playing, petting, talking. When a cat knows that his attention time is guaranteed, he becomes much calmer at all other times. Before we go further, if you're learning something new about your cat right now, consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps other cat lovers discover this information too. And honestly, more people deserve to understand what their cats are trying to communicate. Reason 2. And if you are driving right now or doing something else, stop and listen, because this is the most important thing you will hear today about your cat. He follows you because he loves you, truly, deeply, unconditionally. Cats spend time with those they trust and love, and if your cat has chosen you as his person, he wants to be near you constantly, not because he needs food, not because he is bored, but because you are the most important being in his entire world. Some breeds are more inclined to this attachment than others. Siamese cats, Sphynx, Burmese, Ragdolls, Persians, Bengals, Maine Coons. They're literally built for deep connection with humans. But in reality, no breed is immune to real love, especially if you live alone with your cat and he sees you as your only group. There are signs that help you understand that this is love and not something else. The cat looks at you and slowly blinks. In cat language, this is a kiss. This is maximum vulnerability and trust. He rolls onto his back and shows his belly. The belly is the most vulnerable part of the body, and only someone who feels completely safe next to you will show it. If you see this regularly, know this: your cat loves you as much as a cat can love a human. What should you do about it? Respond in kind. And when you are busy, leave something with your scent for your cat, an old t-shirt, a pillowcase. It sounds simple, but for a cat, this is a real emotional anchor that tells him you are not alone. I am near. Reason 3. Your cat is simply hungry, and he has chosen the most effective way to tell you about it. Pay attention to timing. If your cat starts following you about an hour before the usual feeding time, if he becomes louder, more persistent, more intrusive with every step you take, this is not mysterious behavior. This is a marketing strategy. And it must be admitted, it is very effective. The longer you do not respond, the intense the campaign becomes. To reduce this daily theater, feed your cat at the same time every day. When a cat knows exactly when food will come, he is much less anxious and much less likely to chase you in anticipation. You can also divide the daily portion into smaller parts and feed more frequently so that the cat does not experience real hunger between meals. Puzzle feeders and food toys work great too. They stretch the eating process over time and provide mental stimulation at the same time. But there is one big rule. Never feed your cat in response to his demands outside the schedule. Do it once, and the cat will remember forever. Next time, he will be even more persistent, louder, and more relentless in his pursuit because the tactic worked. Reason 4, and this one may truly concern you. Your cat is anxious. Stress and anxiety in cats look different. Some hide, become invisible, try to disappear. Others, on the contrary, turn into your shadow because you have become their only safe place in a confusing and frightening world. It sounds like a compliment, but in reality, it is a signal of distress. If something has recently changed in your home, a move, a new family member, a change in your schedule, renovations, a new smell or sound, and that is when your cat started following you when he didn't before, most likely he is simply scared and looking for protection. Your task is not to stop this behavior by force, but to remove the cause. Give your cat safe resting places with hiding spots where no one will disturb him. Maintain a familiar routine as much as possible. Reduce the number of changes in the home environment. Pheromone diffusers designed specifically for cats can help reduce anxiety levels. If anxiety escalates into aggression or destruction, this is already a signal to see a veterinarian. Just like humans, cats can have clinical anxiety, and sometimes medical support is not weakness, but care for their quality of life.
Reason 5. Your cat is bored, and you are the most interesting thing in his entire accessible world. Domestic cats, especially those that never go outside, live in an environment that barely changes day after day. The same rooms, the same smells, the same sounds. If you add a lack of toys, little active play, and minimal interaction, the cat begins to seek stimulation wherever possible. And you move, change locations, do different things. You are interesting. You are live entertainment. Fighting cat boredom is easier than it seems. Regularly rotate toys so they do not become boring. Play actively with your cat at least twice a day. Place a bird feeder outside the window or give access to a windowsill with a view of the street. For a cat, a window is an entire television, and it can hold his attention for hours, finally giving you a chance to work in peace. Reason 6. Your cat is aging, and he needs you more than before. Young cats are often quite independent, but with age, something changes. They become more vulnerable, less confident, more dependent on their owner's presence. Older cats can become disoriented in space much more easily than younger ones. They may forget where the litter box is, where the food bowl is, and your presence becomes a point of orientation for them in space. If your cat is already of advanced age and suddenly started following you more than before, this is not a whim. This is a need for safety. Provide him with a comfortable, quiet place with soft bedding. Spend more calm time together. And regularly visit the veterinarian, because excessive clinginess in an older cat can sometimes be a symptom of conditions that are treatable if detected early. Reason 7, and here you need to be attentive. Your cat may be sick. Cats hide pain and illness instinctively. It is a remnant of the wild, where weakness meant danger. But sometimes, when they feel really bad, they do the opposite and seek out their person. Following you can be a way of saying, "Something is wrong with me, I need help." If your cat suddenly and without visible reason starts following you everywhere, pay attention to other changes. Is he eating less or more than usual? Has litter box use changed? Is he sleeping more or less? Does he seem disoriented?
Some conditions, for example hyperthyroidism, neurological disorders, or chronic pain, can manifest through exactly this kind of behavioral change. Do not ignore this signal. If the behavior change is sudden and accompanied by other symptoms, a visit to the veterinarian is not paranoia, it is responsibility. Reason 8, and this will make you look at the situation from a completely different angle. Your cat follows you because you taught him to do it. Not intentionally, but you did. Stop for a second and think honestly. What do you do when your cat follows you? Do you stop and pet him? Talk to him? Maybe there's always a treat in the kitchen and he gets it every time you go there together. Or maybe you move your toes playfully when he jumps at your feet and it has turned into a small daily game. Cats learn through repetition. They're incredibly attentive to patterns. If action A consistently leads to result B, the cat will remember and repeat action A again and again. You rewarded your cat for following you, and you didn't even notice it. This is not bad. It simply means that your relationship with your cat is much deeper and more complex than it seems. Observe yourself carefully for a few days, and you will most likely find the answer yourself. Reason 9, which is rarely talked about. Your cat may feel that you are sad or unwell, and he has come to support you. This is not a myth and not anthropomorphism. Cats are extremely sensitive to changes in your behavior, scent, breathing rhythm, and tone of voice. They notice when something is wrong with you long before you realize it yourself. If your cat follows you especially persistently on days when you are sick, stressed, or simply sad, he most likely senses it and reacts in his own way. He cannot hug you and say everything will be fine, but he can sit next to you, rest his head on your knees, and simply be there. And if you think about it, that is quite meaningful. Reason 10, the last one, and it ties everything together into one simple and powerful idea. Your cat follows you because for him, you are the entire world. Not a part of the world, not one element of the environment, the entire world. You are his safety, his entertainment, his food, his love, his reference point in space and time. And when you leave the room, his small universe temporarily loses its center. That is why he follows you. Not because he cannot be independent, but because he chose you, consciously. Out of everything in his life, he chose you as the person worth following everywhere. And if after everything you've just learned, the next time you hear small footsteps behind you in the hallway, you smile instead of sigh, then this information has done its job. Write in the comments whether your cat follows you and in which room he does it most often. The bathroom at 6 in the morning? We suspect you're not alone.